everybody. I hope you all are having a good day today. It's raining over here. It is raining over here. Hold on a minute. I gotta make sure I don't run out of hard drive space. I gotta clear up this stuff here. Alright. So I downloaded Thomas the Train. The model. I got it from Sketchfab. I'll import it into here so we can take a look at the model. I downloaded the OBJ format. Downloads Thomas the Train. Thomas the Train. Yeah. Well, as you can see, his origin is not. He is not at the 3D cursor. He is far away from there. So we will move him to where he should go. Yes, Thomas the Train. It is clear. You will be a car in BeamNG. See, there's a texture. What in the hell is this? Never in my life have I seen such. Okay, that's better. So here's what my plan is. My plan is to replace one of the cars bodies from the game with Thomas the Train. That actually rhymed. I didn't plan on that. It just happened that way. So we'll go to our Steam library. Steam library. Steam apps, common, BeamNG drive. Vehicles, content, vehicles, and what is one of them new ones? Them weird looking thing with the 3 wheels. Let me pull up the game and look, 'cause I don't even know what that car is called. The one looks kind of like a moon buggy. Alright, so there would be, this is the one I'm thinking, the FPU Wandra. The FPU Wandra. Well, this is going to be Thomas the Train. Alright, let's, this doesn't matter which one it is. Just needed to know what it was. So it should say, well, I don't know. What do they call it in here? ATV. Let's look at the little picture. Yeah, that's it. So what we do, we extract this onto, we extract the ATV zip just onto the desktop for now. Yeah. And then we're going to move it into the vehicles folder, because that's the working folder, pretty much. So in your user folder, you have the vehicles folder, and that's where this is going to go. But I have to get it out of here so that it is like this. That way, anything done to it in here, it'll override the one in the game. So there should be a DAE file, but there's probably also a CDAE, which is the cached version. We'll delete the cached version. Yeah, see, there's a cached version, which basically It's supposed to help it load faster and stuff, but if you're going to modify something, you're going to need to get rid of it. So we're going to load the DAE in the Blender also, but I'll probably just load it as a new general. And let me start these little keys here so you can probably see what I'm pressing. It makes it a little easier to see. So it doesn't show you everything pressed in Blender, but it shows you a pretty good bit of the stuff down here. So we'll import the DAE from the game, which is the ATV. It should be this here. Just import Kaleida. Now what you'll get here, you'll get everything for everything for every make and model that exists for that vehicle. Now I don't need any of this stuff. Basically all this stuff has to do with the version that's already in the game, and there's so many different versions of this thing. I will look and see if there's a body, a basic body, which yeah, there's this basic body thing here, which this is the body here will be what I end up using probably for the Jbeam. So I'm gonna delete everything. I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb here and do something crazy. I'm gonna delete all this stuff except that body. That's gonna be Thomas the Tutu Twain body in just a minute. So let me import him into here. Kaleida. Thomas the Tutu Train. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's not a DAE, dumbass. It's an OBJ. Import the right thing. Desktop. Downloads. Thomas the Train. Thomas the Train. Alright, Thomas, get your ass over here at the 3D cursor. So, object set origin, 3D cursor, geometry to origin. Alright, Tom, let's get you situated. So, you're going to be here. Now, I figured I'd probably just let the game's wheels be his wheels, so I'll delete his wheels. Let me hide this ATV again. Let me get the textures looking right again on here, because they're not right. Show me some crazy alpha blend. So let's do this. Let us go to edit mode, and let us say mesh separate into loose parts. Now I should easily be able to select these wheels. Maybe I'll use the wheels, I don't know. I just delete them all. We're basically just making a shell of a car to go on that ATV rider. So we're getting rid of all this. I should probably hide all this to make life easier. I didn't realize there's that many parts. Alright, let's just take a little longer. That's all. Damn, it really did split this thing into a lot of pieces, didn't it? Damn, there's a lot of loose parts. I might have been better off manually selecting that stuff and deleting it. Alright, what part is that? Let me just do it like this. Goodness. I known it's gonna be like this. Holy hell, man. What'd I get myself into? what I found the easiest way to do, the easiest way I found to like get a texture in a game for a vehicle is, well, let me join him all back together now that I got the wheels gone. The easiest thing for me is, why is there all these parts still? You see all this stuff. I don't know. Don't know. All these hidden parts here. Alright, the easiest way for me is to export this like just as a collider in its own folder in a level, for example, like small grid, like in the art folder. I'll just make a new folder and I'll just call it whatever. I'll export him into there, and then I'll load the game, and basically it's raining here. Basically it'll make a texture of him that I can just copy the texture material information so that I can paste it in the material information for the ATVs. You'll see what I mean in a second. Alright, see, that just made a material right there, basically. And then I can go... Damn, it's really raining hard here. I can go to that level. And I can just add that to the ATV. Which we don't need all this. All we need is this, basically. And then we'll go to the vehicles folder where that ATV is at. Find its main material. I know it's in here somewhere. It has to be. There it is. And so I'll just scroll down to the bottom here. And this is the end of the last texture. I'll just basically put a bracket and a comma, and then I will paste this here. And that is a BeamNG. Apparently it doesn't actually have to have that on there. So we'll save this. Now we know that Thomas will load, his texture will load when this vehicle loads. So now all we need to do is add him to the Jbeam. Add his body to the mod. So we find the mod, the Jbeam for the actual vehicle, which is... Where is it? Where? ATV Jbeam. Now, this slot here, we're going to make a new slot. We're going to basically make one for Thomas, the train. So I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it here, because I'm lazy. I don't want to type all that. So the type slot is going to be train, and I'm just going to put that here and here and here. Alright. Now save this. Now I need to think about it. A destructible Jbeam to what do you call it? Collapse, deform, whatnot. Which, you know what? I really ain't got a damn clue for this thing. I mean, the easiest thing for me to do is just add like a mesh cube, like this. This will be just a very basic, very basic collision, which it'll deform a little bit, but it's not going to be like, you know, awesome by any means. It'll be okay for like, yeah, I mean, it'll be kind of okay, I guess. So we will subdivide it a couple times in edit mode. Let's see, one more time, maybe. Nah, we'll just stick with that. Yeah, shit. Yeah, we'll stick with that. If we have to make another one, we'll make another one. Alright, so the faces here, we're going to triangulate them. And then we're going to give this some reinforcement. Because it's got no reinforcement at all. Basically, not separating it. So we'll pick a vertice like this one here. And this one. And we'll hit F on our keyboard. And what that's going to make is a new beam that's going to kind of reinforce it a bit, right? Like that. Think about a mine where they dig stuff and they clear away stuff in a mine, and you know they got to have these like supports inside so that the walls don't just collapse and stuff. So that's basically what this is doing when I select these two vertices and I hit F. It's basically making a reinforcement so that it is somewhat sturdy. Kind of like spider webs, you know, and kind of going in between each other. There's already one right there. Alright, let's save our project before we crash here. Alright, so in the vehicles folder for this train, we'll save our Blender file. Alright, now what we're going to do is set the origin to both of these things. I guess I can delete this. I guess, you know what, I could rename the ATV body. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to delete it. And delete this display, and so let's rename him to Thomas. Alright, the cube. Alright, both of these. Origin set the 3D cursor. Apply all transforms. So we'll export this DAE of this train into the same folder of the ATV. Train. Don't matter what you name this, by the way. It will be selection only because the cube is this Jbeam. We're going to export that separate. What did I just export? I damn just exported the cube, I think. Let me redo this. Alright, now we export the cube as Jbeam. Alright, now we need to get a blank Jbeam and load it into here. Wait, let me close this. Let me put it in there, in the folder with the ATV. Blank Jbeam, because this will be the slot for Thomas. So in here, Thomas is the name. And it's also the slot type that's being referred to in the other Jbeam of the ATV. Now, the flex body is also Thomas. That's what I named it in Blender. That would be... Did Blender crash on me? Oh, no, it didn't. Alright. See, Thomas, this is the flex body that's going here. And it's group assignment. I'm going to make it a letter T. Letter T. Alright, so this is set up and it's extremely heavy. Let's change that. Let's change this to plastic. I don't know, maybe the train's plastic. It's a toy. That's just a sound I believe it makes. It will collide with the ground, so that's true. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's close all this other stuff out of here because it's getting too much stuff in there from previous things I've done. Now this box I exported as a Jbeam, that's going to be, well, it should be in here in Jbeam exported. Did I export it yet? Maybe I didn't. I don't think I did. So let's give it a prefix for the vertices of T. Just ignore that slot type there. Don't worry about that. Just put a T here for node prefix. So we export this Jbeam. We should have a folder in here in the ATV folder for Jbeam exported, which I don't see it. Let me make sure I saved the Blender file in the right place. Vehicles, train. Oh, no wonder. I stuck it in the damn. I see what I did. Yeah, I see what I did. It's alright. I can pull it up from in there. I made a damn folder called train in there. Alright, so there's our cube. These will be the boxes that control Thomas as far as deforming and stuff. So let's go to the ATV folder and let's pull up the blank Jbeam, which is not actually blank, but put the cube over here. And we will put these nodes here, over here, where these nodes go. And we'll put the beams where the beams go here. And then lastly, the collision triangles. And reduce the spring strength. And the triangles go over here. So, basically, when we load the ATV, we should have a slot option to add Thomas. Now, the rest of the car is still going to show up unless I overwrite the DAE of this vehicle thing, which I'm debating on whether I should or not. Let me do this. Let me move it out of here. So that I got the original in here. Oh, no, not the damn Jbeam. The DAE. Move the DAE out of here. And let me load up the ATV's Jbeam. Let's see. I've only done a few of these, so give me a minute. So we don't want any of this shit to load. This is all basically the mesh that already exists. But I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just see what we get. Let's just load it and see what we get. Ever since they've updated the game, I get this crazy ass error. These screen flashes. Or when I go back to the game after leaving it like that, it doesn't want to return right. Let's see what kind of mess did we create. Alright, let's go to the config. I don't see it. Train. Oh, you dumb bastard. You put Thomas in there. If you're gonna put train in there, then damn it, it needs to be train. I'm like, wait a minute. That should work. Should work. Should is the word. I really need to reload. Also, I didn't attach the Jbeam to anything, so it will just fall on the ground. If it does spawn, it's not hooked up to anything. And it doesn't have a core slot set, so it probably is not going to have, I don't know. Let's just see what we get. Let's see what we get. We get a choo-choo train, a choo-choo train, a choo-choo train. Tom is the train, Tom is the train, Tom is the choo-choo train. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that worked. But it worked all right. A little better than what I thought it was going to. But you see, we got the other vehicle under there, which is fine. This is what you would call a kit car. You know, years ago, people would buy these Pontiac Fieros, and they would basically modify them to have like Ferrari bodies and Lamborghini bodies. And man, oh man, did I want me a Lamborghini. But them damn kits were like 10 grand. And they said they took an experienced body man something like a whole year to do. Which, of course, I got no experience doing that kind of stuff. So that would have meant it took me 20 years. I'm actually pretty surprised that's attached to that. I mean, it is, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's really not. It is, but it ain't. It's just an old rickety old shell on top of that thing. Like those old Ferrari bodies. Alright, let's hit Control N to see our nodes. So what we can do at this point, we can fasten it down. We can attach some of these to these. So we'll start with like saying, we'll look at the back of this thing. See, this is B15RR. We can connect that to, say, TR23 by simply doing this. Going back to the this here. Now I can go to Thomas or I can go to the ATV. It doesn't matter which one I go to. I'll just stick with the blank Jbeam, which is the train. And what I'll do is scroll down to where the beams are, like here. And I'll just add some. So basically, what you do, you say like TR23. Alright. So I'll copy this, because I am lazy. TR23. And I will say, you connect to B15RR. B15RR. And then I'll go over here. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. It's easy to get these damn numbers confused because they're all over the place. That's B15LL, which just means left. LL is left, left. R is right. So that B15LL, and that will connect to TL17. TL17. Now if I save this and I hit Control R, it'll update with that new connection. If I hit Control B to see the beams, you can see now these new beams that I just attached that number there to with that number there. However, it's not very strong of a beam. I'm gonna need more beams to keep this thing upright. So we'll go up here to the front to TL2, and let's look under here, see what we can connect it to. TL2 will connect to, oh, how about FSFL1? FSFL1. The males can look like ones. One's got the little thing at the bottom. An L doesn't. That's how you can tell them apart. They look almost identical though. TL2. TL2. And I may need to adjust these strengths of these beams. They may not be strong enough. Or I can make this a hell of a lot lighter, and that would help also. So that's TR8. TR8. And you are going to connect to, well, how about SFSR1? SSFR1. And while we're at it, let's make him a little lighter. Alright, Control R. And looky at that. He's already balanced a lot better. And he is somewhat attached now. Tom is the choo-choo train. Tom is the choo-choo train. Tom is the choo-choo train. He just going, ain't he? You know what? You know what make it look even more special than that? And maybe if he had some smoke coming out his little hooter thing up here, little choo-choo train pipe thingy. So we're gonna hit Control N, which he ain't got a little thing up there for that yet, actually. So why don't we just add one to it? We could do that. We could add some nodes there that don't exist. Let's go back to Blender. In Blender, what we will do, we will add, well, shit, it's gonna take me longer than I thought to do this. We could, yeah, because see, there's not a physical object up there. See, there's no nodes, there's no beams, Jbeams, no nodes, there's nothing up there for that little thing. Because I remember I just made a simple box. So I'd have to edit the box, which that ain't hard to do. What we'll do is add a loop. You know what? Even better yet, I'll just do the surgical cut on it. So I'll just cut from here to here. That'll put a node right there, and then from here to here, and I'll hit enter. And that basically created a node here. The only thing is now, what are you doing? The only thing is now I got to re-export the Jbeam so that the Jbeam in the game has the updated node number stuff in it. So we'll have to do that. Export. Let's save our file first though. And this time save it in the right folder, the ATV. It don't matter what you name your Blender file. Alright, so now we export. And you say, why don't you just save? Shit, what I just do. Because my dumb ass accidentally just went to new file. Good thing I just saved it. Yeah, I can't talk and do two things at once very well, apparently. So this cube, with this modification, gets re-exported as a Jbeam cube. And then in here, we need to reload it into here. So that got saved properly in See, Jbeam exported. So we reload this cube. It's going to have new nodes, new vertices. I'm sorry, new beams, new nodes, new triangles, because we just added to it. So we'll remove this from here, add these new ones. We just do a complete replace. It's like putting a new engine in a car. You just completely replace the engine. You're not just like, in fact, these may change too. These may not be valid anymore. But we'll leave them and see. But it's no big deal. That's why I leave spaces in between stuff, so that I know, you know, if I got to go back, you know, and do anything, it's like, well, I know where I left off. I don't confuse anything. So we'll save this, and then we'll do a Control R again. And as you can see, yeah, those beams have to be redone, obviously. See how it just, yeah. But you see now we have a new node here, which when this is balanced correctly, it should, see, T11. T11 is the node. So what we're going to do, we're going to remember T11, not T11, I'm sorry, T11, T11. We're going to remember that. We're going to close the game because we're going to have to add a Lua script to it. So let's go to the mod that already has particles, and we'll borrow its Lua. So we'll copy this to our clipboard, and then in the ATV we will paste it. And in that Lua folder, we'll open that particle nodes. Alright, so local T11. And we don't need these. So we get them out of there. We don't need these. We get them out of there. So this will be also T11. And this will be T11. And here will be T11. We'll put back T in here. The particle number is 7 for black smoke. And we'll have like 5 instances of the same particle. So it should be pretty smoky. Alright, that looks good. That looks good. We save, we reload, and we have smoke come out of there. And then we got to fix our attachments, and then I'll be done with this. I'll zip it and I'll share it for anybody to use. Someone asked about this Thomas the Train last week or something. I don't remember when. It was maybe a couple weeks ago. I hadn't forgot about it. He'd been on my mind ever since. There's our choo-choo train, and there's our smoke coming out. I'm so happy that it worked. Tommy's the choo-choo train. Tommy's the choo-choo train. Alright, let's fix these nodes. These beams, rather. I want to basically redo what we did. But see, there'll be... See, that says TR28 now. That probably is not what it was the first time. So we can close this. We can close that. And let's go down to here. So yeah, it was TR23 the first time. See, now it's TR28. And the one over there is TL22. And the ones in the front. Now the FS and the B, all that, none of that's changed. That's actually, that's still the same because we didn't mess with the car. We didn't mess with the one from the car. We just changed the one for the train. So that's TR8 and that's TL2. Those two are the same still. So the only one that should have changed is back there. So if we hit Control R, we should be good to go. And we're still sagging, aren't we? Well, hell. I could make make it lighter. I could make more supports. I'll just do some more supports. I'll do a TR. Actually, you know what I could do? I could make the beams stronger, or give them some pre-compression so that they pull tighter. Let's make it stronger, and let's give it a little pre-compression. That makes it pull a little snugger. And hope it doesn't explode. I think that made it worse. It's just making it worse. Maybe it needs more slack. Let's put some slack in it. Yeah, I made it worse. Hey, there we go. And we got a good balance now. But let's put some more supports so it stays a little more stable. So let's make one for TR21, and we'll connect that to one of these on the side. FSM L7. So we're gonna make 2 more beams, so we'll just copy and paste. FSR. It's so hard to see. Let's do this. Let's hit escape. Let's go to vehicle config. Let's go to debug, and let's tell the mesh visibility to be 0. Let's hit Control T to see the triangles, and now we can get a better look at what is what. So as you can see how this is kind of situated on here. So I'm going to attach TR21 to let's see. B34RR. And then we'll go to the other side, and that's TL16, and it'll connect to, I don't know, FSML1, FSML1. I can turn beams on too, and you can see the beams when I hit Control R. You should see some new beams appear. Yeah, that's just crooked as shit. I think we're better off without this extra argument in here, to be honest with you. Well, it's a process. It's a damn process, that's for sure. So we'll just connect some more. That's all. We'll just keep connecting them, or we'll make it lighter. I don't know. It needs to have some weight. That's the thing. It needs a little weight. Let's try this. I think I made it worse by adding them last 2. I think it might be just fine like that. What do you think? Yeah. No. I mean, look at what we're doing. We're putting this big ass box on this little bitty body, and we're trying to balance it. So I mean, it's not like a science or anything. It's pretty crazy to think about it, really. You probably are looking at this and say, man, I know which ones to connect. Well, that's fine. You can do that. I think I'll zip it up like it is and let you do it. Let you try to determine. It's all you gotta do is just open the Jbeam here and just add. Basically, you're adding beams, just connecting rods, points to points, and you're determining which one, you know, is best for balancing. I mean, I think it's fine like it is, for free. You know, it's not like you paid for it. That's why I won't charge for things either, because I don't want to have to. You can't complain about something for free. I mean, if you did, nobody would care. So if it's free, you know, it's just something more that you got that you didn't have before, and you didn't have to buy it. But yeah, you can see, seriously though, you can see that the amount of work is not that much. You just have to kind of balance the thing and get it so that, I mean, I'll try to do a couple more. Let's see, TL24, and that's TR30, and I'll see if I can hook them to the back here to B15LL. And the other side is B15RR. Maybe this will be all it takes to get us secure. Hey, well, you know. Well, you know. I think it's pretty good, eh? Alright, I'm going to zip it up and I'm going to share it. But not before I show you who the courteous person was who put this on Sketchfab, because that's important. Because I didn't make the model. If I make it, I'll tell you I make it. If I don't, I'm going to tell you who made it. I'm searching Sketchfab for Sketchfab. What a dumbass. Thomas the Train. And where is the one that I got? Well, I didn't realize there was so many. Because earlier I just picked the first one that came up, but this time several are coming up. Thomas the Cube. I think it's this one. I'm not 100% sure though. But I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. No, it's not. No, it's not that one. Maybe it's this one. No, that's got a Blender file. It was one of these. I could be here all day and not find it. Now it's funny because the first time I looked for it, I didn't see any. This time there's a lot of them pulling back. I remember seeing some about yeehaw yay or something in the comments. I remembered seeing that. Yeah, no. Nope. No, I know that ain't it. Wait, this should tell me what I've already downloaded. I would thought. Well, I tried. I don't know which one it was, but whoever made it, I appreciate it. I'll figure it out later. I'll post it in a link. Because I don't remember. Maybe I'll just type Thomas Train. I think that's it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm almost certain that's it. Nope, it ain't. This is probably it, because that's an OBJ. I think this is it. Yeah. I don't know. Pretty sure it is. But anyway, I'm going to zip this up and I'm going to share it. Y'all have a good day.